Welcome back to the Endeavour Network channel. My name is James, the lead coach, and today we're continuing our Coaching Uncut series of the usual suspects. And before, what we did was 4 reasons or excuses why a business wouldn't use a coach. We are continuing today with part 2 as to 4 benefits what a small business will gain from having a good business coach at their side. The last video we talked about is building self-accountability and habits and strategic thinking. The conclusion there, really what I'm trying to spur on, is to help people learn the art of thinking ahead and planning and obviously forming good habits in order to produce great results. Today, we're talking about benefit number 2, which is creating tools for growth and efficiency and better results. So tool creation. Where does a coach find that energy or that wisdom to be able to create these tools for, managing teamwork or helping you to, to do better at your job? Where do they get all this from? Do they get it from all the reading they do? Absolutely. Do they get it from other inspirational authors? Absolutely. A good coach is a good reader, is a good researcher, is somebody who will spend the time to look at, good support mechanisms for, morale in your corporate setting. They'll also look for good, healthy tools for you, for your personal growth. That kind of influence is what they bring to the table. One specific tool that I created over the years, in fact, I didn't create, I enhanced it. The concept of mind mapping is not new. Mind mapping is the ability to take a pen and paper and tactilely, put it physically on paper, what's in your mind, and just kind of out all over the place on the paper so that you can see all your scattered and fast moving thoughts still on a piece of paper. So you gain some objectivity. Now, one day I was working on my own stuff, and I had a lot of life issues and I had a lot of business development issues, and I knew about mind mapping. So what I did was I put it on paper. And I looked at it and I thought, what a mess, what a mess of what's going on in my life. How do I boil this down to make it a simple task list or something that I can manage one step at a time? You can only eat an elephant one bite at a time, they say. So what I did was I looked at everything and I decided to take the numbers 1 to 10, 1 being the top priority and 10 being the least in priority. And I said, well, where do these fit in my emotional sense of priority, my mental and emotional sense? So I assigned a number to each one. But what I did was I limited how many of the issues would be number 1 priority. And that forced me to actually think more critically over the mess that was on the paper. And so if I gave myself only 3 number 1 top priorities, I had to be very, very strategic in what I did there. So I did that. And it ended up kind of being very refreshing, but it didn't stop there. Once I identified, I took a second list and I said all the number 1s, all the number 2s, all the number 3s, and so on. Then I looked at them and I said, which ones out of all the lists that I've identified have a date for completion? And so even though an item wasn't listed at number 1, remember, that was what I emotionally thought was important, or mentally, emotionally thought. Then I looked at what were the time-sensitive ones. And so I identified the dates where there was basically a deadline. So if I had to get my business, taxes done by, the 30th of the month, I put that down. Then what I did was I took out all those time-sensitive ones, and then I isolated them, and that became my task list. And I realized that once I identified the time-sensitive ones, my stress levels for all the other stuff went way down. So I devised a tool, a mechanism. I enhanced on the mind map, and I offered it to my clients. We did business retreats, and I threw that exercise out there. They hated me for it, but at the end of the exercise, they said, I feel so much better. And how could such a simple thing help me feel so much better? I hope that you found this helpful today. The second benefit for why you would want a good business coach is because they bring tools and they create mechanisms for growth and efficiency to help you. Anyway, thank you so much. Please feel free to like and subscribe and share if you enjoyed the content that we're putting out. And remember that we've just launched on locals.com. If you'd like to be a supporter of our work, on a monthly supporter, we are going to be posting more substantial coaching material, teaching seminars and workshops that I've done over the years that you will really enjoy. So thank you so much for watching today.